Hello, Internet, and welcome to our very, very first episode of our new Monster of the Week game, All Myths Are True. You may notice that I am not the person who usually talks before the games. Usually that's Sean, but I have taken over. So welcome to the dungeon, I guess. Announcements, we probably have those. There will be no Saturday nights on Saturday, unfortunately, because some of us have prior commitments. So it seems like there might be some video game streaming that's going to happen in place of that instead. We'll keep everyone updated on Twitter and on Discord for that. And we do other stuff here on game nights too. We are not streaming this Monday. Is that correct?
Yeah, no stream this Monday. I might do some crafts on Tuesday again.
Oh, yay. So potential craft night on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we will have another episode of Matropony, which has been gone for a little bit because Sean and I have been moving, but we're in an actual house now. So we'll be able to do that again. And then that next Saturday, we'll pick up with Saturday nights again. I don't think I have any more announcements.
Well, okay.
I wish I had more exciting stuff to tell everybody. But welcome if you're out there watching. This is our first episode of All Myths Are True. This is a game of Monster of the Week, which is one of the many games that is based off the Powered by the Apocalypse system. I'm making up the whole thing, except for some of the rules that I didn't really learn that well. So that's how this game is going to go. Do you guys have anything you want to say before I just start? I'm bad at introductions and I'm not going to get better at them, so.
That's okay. You're doing great.
Thanks.
It's part of the charm.
Yeah.
Literally no one has ever said I'm charming before, so.
Well, if we were going by the stats of this game, you probably have at least a +1.
Oh, yeah.
It's better than nothing. All right, well. Then in that case, I'm gonna pull up all of my info here. I'm gonna change the music to something a little bit more like what we're doing, and we will begin. I warned my players, I'll also warn the internet out there, I'm gonna talk a lot at the beginning of this game. It's not gonna be like this every time, I swear. So if you hate hearing my voice, don't worry. It won't be that much. So, unless you guys have anything you want to say, we'll go ahead and begin. All right. I'm change our music. This is my Monday morning music. It's Monday morning. We're beginning on a morning like any other morning. You've all spent it going through your normal routines, whatever those may be, of getting ready for work. It's been a slow few months at the office, and in between big assignments, you've been working your normal day jobs and as a team, taking on some smaller cases as a favor to the local authorities. What those cases are differs from week to week, but they're boring and usually nothing like the adventures you've had together before. Very uneventfully, you make it to work, you check it, you start getting settled, and as you do, you all receive a message through your official communications network. You've been scheduled for a mission briefing. First thing. But noticing the other names copied onto the message, you know this isn't just any briefing. This is for your courser team. The happy music stops. Except my Roll20 froze, so I can't put anything else back on.
Whoops.
I love. Roll20 is the best. But so, you all receive this message. You make your way to the briefing room. I got the music to come back on. One by one. And when you arrive, you scan your courser badges that you all have that will allow you access to this very special briefing room. So as the first badge is scanned, we hear an affirmative beep and a voice comes over the speaker that you are very familiar with. Access granted. Welcome, Courser Smith. And Smith walks into the room. What do you look like, Smith?
So first off, you said that we were supposed to get a note. I don't see a note. Was it supposed to pop up, or was there just?
It was just a note telling you had a briefing.
Okay, I thought I misunderstood. Agent Smith looks like an Agent Smith, I think is the best way I can describe him. He is a middle-aged man, human, early Middle Ages. So he's going bald, so he completely shaves his head. Is in pretty good shape for his age, a little bit thinner, but barrel chested, and is always wearing a regulation or Aegis standard issue suit, which I don't know if is like a slate gray, probably, with a gray tie and a white shirt, something very unassuming, but always very well pressed and taken care of, and he's very presentable in his appearance. As I said, a square jaw, shaven head, maybe a little bit of stubble on his face. I have a picture on Roll20 of Jason Statham, and I think that's what I'm going to stick with.
That's very good.
As my inspiration for the character. And always especially when doing business, and almost every time you see him has a very serious, stern expression on his face.
Okay, so Agent Smith, who I assume always goes by Agent Smith, makes his way into the briefing room to get settled, and as he does, another badge from the outside is scanned, another beep, another voice. Access granted. Welcome, Courser Lefla. What do Lefla look like?
Bonjour. Lefla is tiny. Well, not tiny. They are a seedling, which, puts them at about hobbit halfling size in this particular variety, but think Cousin It, but made of vines and ivy. So just a walking shrubbery. Various kinds of vegetation, again, primarily vines and ivy, but has a little, just like, I think probably a daisy or something poking out of the top, just like a little Pikmin antenna. And then to help others, they have donned as an affectation just these big old wireframe glasses to kind of give you an indication of like, okay, this is the front of Lefla, so to look at their face, rather than being unsure of which if Lefla is facing you or not.
Does Lefla need the glasses?
Nope. So they're I guess that would make them hipster glasses, but it's more like I said, an affectation to help others so that they're not they know if Lefla is looking at them or not.
Okay, so Smith, you see Lefla, who you know a little bit at this point, enter the room and start to get settled. And as they do so, a third beep from outside the door as a third badge is scanned, and you hear access granted. Welcome, Courser Lunestra. And we have Periwinkle, who enters the room.
Yeah, so Periwinkle is a Crystali, which is an alien race that sort of looks like bugs. She kind of resembles like a big human-sized moth in a way. Is a sort of like a pale, like purple like bluish purple color. And she's probably brought like coffee for everybody. Or whatever people drink. I don't know. She knows what this crew drinks. And has probably brought that for everybody. And sits down next to Agent Smith. And she's sort of wearing sort of clothes. Sort of like a bright, sort of like pink top. And sort of like a skirt. Normal human clothing doesn't work as well on their bodies, so they have to sort of like make do. But similar to like Lefla wearing glasses, her people have also sort of adopted wearing clothing, even though they don't really need it. But she's wearing like cute bright clothing that looks good with her purple sort of scaly skin.
That's nice. What a nice little team. So I'll use this as an opportunity for anybody who's watching that is familiar with Monster of the Week to tell you that I made a bunch of homebrew races specifically for this game, of which we have two. Agent Smith is a human, like humans do. So Lefla is a seedling, Periwinkle is an insectoid, and we have a lot of other ones that will come up in the game as well, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about you guys. So, the three of you gather around the briefing table and you settle in for the inevitable introduction video that you all know is coming because you're forced to watch it before every mission briefing. I'm assuming at least Agent Smith probably has all of the dialogue memorized at this point, so you gather around the briefing table, the lights dim, and this large video screen is illuminated on the far wall. And as this happens, this dramatic musical score begins to play. This footage comes up on the screen of a rolling green hills and this beautiful mountainside. It's very Lord of the Rings, I think. And this voice comes in over the music, introducing you to the video, and she says, "Our world was once a simple, peaceful place called Viridius. Life was uncomplicated for its human residents. No magic, no monsters, and no knowledge of any worlds outside their own. Then, the crossing," and the music shifts and the video starts showing space and asteroids colliding with each other, and this huge blast of light, and it's all very dramatic. And the voice continues. The voice continues. In a unique moment in space and time, worlds that had existed alone for decades, centuries, millennia, crossed paths. The fragile boundaries between the worlds split open, and the force of the incident sent creatures and energies from all corners hurtling toward each other. And the human world was at the center. Some of the creatures were friendly, races of beings whose societies had rivaled or even surpassed that of humans. Some, however, and the music gets very dark, were monstrous and more likely to try and eat than to negotiate. And so, the humans were faced with a choice: surrender their world to the monsters now infesting it, or, with the help of their new allies, fight back. If you're watching this, you already know which path they took. The people came together, each society putting forth their very best fighters and most knowledgeable researchers to form an elite group to try to save the world they now found themselves in together. They combined their intelligence, magic, technology, everything their once separate societies had to give. And they did it. They saved themselves, beat the monsters, reconciled with each other, and a new society grew from the aftermath of the crossing. Your home, Locus. And the music shifts again, and it's this happy sort of stock music, and it shows all this footage of the main complex of Aegis, where you all work and find yourselves sitting now, and the voice continues to the end of the video. Over the decades, the elite group that they had formed grew into the organization that you are all now a part of, the Agency of Exterior Guard and Internal Safety, AEGIS. You are coursers, handpicked for your skills to represent everything Aegis stands for. When another world calls for help or danger knocks on Locust's door, you are the team who answers. And the video ends with a huge text flying across the screen that spells out Aegis. And the voice comes in one last time. Aegis, protecting our home and yours. And you've all been forced to watch this video before every mission that you've ever gone on as coursers. So that's that. And that's our little background into the world for all of you watching at home. So after this video plays and you're all reminded once again for the third or 30th time what your job is and who you work for, you are given a set of orders. So you all have, I assume, some sort of communications device that you get your email and stuff on. I don't know, maybe it's a phone or something, but you are all given a specific set of orders, and they will let you know that several people in a nearby village, which is outside the kind of hub where the Aegis complex exists and where a lot of people live. So several people in a nearby village have fallen ill and begun behaving strangely with no explanation. Your orders are to meet with the local detective, rule out any mundane explanations, and to discover the cause. If it is something monstrous, which with you all it usually is, dispose of it as quickly as possible. So you all receive that message, and shortly after that, Agent Smith, you receive a second set of orders on your communication device that you know is from your superior that says, report back on the cause of the illness in as much detail as possible. If it is something monstrous, do your damnedest to figure out how it is spreading a disease. Bring back any samples you can for further study. Either live capture or samples from a corpse are acceptable. And so you have your orders. What would you like to do?
Agent Smith takes the... So only I received that last part, right?
Yeah, so the last part just for you.
Okay. I take a drink of my coffee and turn to Periwinkle and say, "There's no sugar in this coffee, is there?"
No, I just made it how you like it. Usually you don't like sugar.
Tastes sweeter than it normally does. Well, is everybody ready to go?
I think so.
I have my equipment with me as always, and the van as always is ready to go.
And it's just the three of us on this job.
I believe
guess
so.
so.
Otherwise, I imagine Theo would have been here by now.
Either that or they're running late. Well,
Just see kind of two vines poke out a little bit in the equivalent of a shrug.
Aw.
I like it.
Yeah, no Theo to be found.
I guess everybody gear up and we'll leave in 30.
I will make sure the van is ready to go.
Perfect.
Okay, so you finish your coffee or take it with you. And-
No drinks in company vehicles, though.
Gotta finish it off here.
I was trying to decide if the van was a company vehicle, but I think it
Oh,
has
true.
to be.
Probably, even though it is one of the things I get for the mundane, but yeah, it's
probably-
probably under my purview as the employee
Okay.
in the group. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, then no drinks in company vehicles. So y'all finish your coffee, or Agent Smith will tattle, I guess.
And also, Lefla is very protective of the van.
Ah, okay. Good to know.
All right. So you all gather your things. You are not going very far. You're staying on locus and just going outside of the usual hub to a small town to meet with your liaison. Is there anything you guys want to do before you go? I don't know if anybody has like pre-mystery moves or anything like that.
Oh, I do have one.
Now would be a great time to do those.
Okay, I have one. At the beginning of each mystery, roll plus weird to see was revealed about your immediate future. Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
First roll of the game.
Yeah.
First roll of
Okay.
the game.
Here it goes. Good thing I'm pretty good at weird. Okay. That's 8. So on a 7 to 9, you get a vague hit about it.
A vague hint about your immediate future?
Yes. Whatever that means.
What does that mean? Okay. So for something like this, do you think that Periwinkle just gets a feeling? Do you think that she like has visions? Do you think you like do tarot?
Yeah,
I
if
think-
I think if it was like a 10 plus, then maybe she'd get a full on vision. But with it being like a 7 to 9, I think she just sort of like gets like a hunch, I guess, sort of like a feeling.
I think. Let's see. So as you're kind of getting ready to leave and gathering up your things, probably cleaning up everybody's coffee cups, I think Periwinkle sort of stops for a moment because you've just had presumably a decent amount of coffee, but you get this really sleepy feeling just for a minute, where you just feel so tired, like you can't even hold your eyes open. And then it goes away.
Maybe I should ask for more espresso next time.
All right. Anybody else want to surprise me with things?
Well, I think on the way to getting the van ready, Lefla is going to stop back by the infirmary where they, work as their day job when they're not doing the course or missions. Just, let the doctor on call know, hey, I'm going to be out on a mission. Shouldn't be too long. Not going very far. And just checking in with them if they would have any insight into, some kind of. I'm looking back at what you said, just that people have fallen ill and begun behaving strangely, and just say, this is all I know so far. What might you know? And I'm wondering if I can use my oops move.
Oops.
You can certainly try. Do you have to roll for that, or is
Nope.
that just a thing
I
that's
I
happened?
find something important and useful, but not necessarily related to your immediate problems.
Okay. I think the doctor would probably tell you without more information than people have fallen ill or are behaving strangely. It is hard for them to say, but they do know that it's flu season.
Okay.
So maybe it's that.
Yep. And then I will head down to the garage and start getting the van ready.
Awesome. Smith?
I just have one because I have a move that I don't really want to use yet. Is it going to be possible once we get out in the field to like request gear and stuff from the main office? Like, can they deliver things like with drones or time slips or something like that? Where
Yeah, well, I think especially because you all, for this first mystery anyway, are not very far away. You're just kind of driving down the road.
Yeah.
To the next town. I think that's probably fine.
Because as far
on your way.
Yeah. Because as far as my secret mission is concerned, I may need more equipment for it, but right now, since I don't know what we're dealing with, I'm just going to go in with my normal gear. So I maybe grab a couple extra clips for my P90 and head to the car, to the van.
Okay. Yeah, I think as far as getting extra gear and stuff goes, it won't like teleport to you instantly, but you could, given a little bit of advance, a few minutes advance notice, they could get you something.
Okay. And I don't have. They can deliver things if we need specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a move that can.
You're important enough. You all are important enough for that.
I have a move that lets me request stuff, but I don't want to request it before I know that I need it. If that makes sense.
That seems right. Okay. So everybody meets up at the van.
And so you two are waiting because this is a routine by now. Lefla comes pulling up, and printed on the side of the van, you see Medicorum Operatio Mobili vehicle van. And, that's in the small font, but what you really see in the big letters is the mom van.
That's good.
Medicorum Operatio Mobili, medical operations vehicle.
Excellent.
As I said, Lefla does work in the infirmary, and so has, some...
So it's like an ambulance?
A
sorta?
little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
it's more like... I'm trying to think, like, an ambulance mixed with a SWAT van, maybe?
Oh,
Because of the nature of the missions that we go on.
that's true. That makes sense.
So.
Fighting some
But-
monsters.
Yep. So just pulls up, rolls down the window. Come on, Yatin! On y va, allons-y!
Okay.
Smith doesn't look like he likes the mom van very much.
I don't think I do. Is this standard issue, or has
Yes.
Lefla done some sort of like?
No, this is what most of the
So-
infirmary vans vehicles are like.
They just say "mom" on the side. Okay.
I mean, it's M.O.M, and with
But
the
yeah.
actual words written out. But
Yeah,
The official acronym.
mom. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Well, if this is something that like is a standard issue, then I don't think Agent Smith has any reason to be disappointed in this. Sean has any reason to be disappointed in this. So yeah, Agent Smith gets into the van.
you're just disappointed you didn't get to make the joke.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not the jokester this time around.
All right, so everyone hops in the van, and away we go. So you drive the van half
That
an
is
hour
about
down
the
the
sound
road.
it makes.
Yep, that's the sound the van makes. About half an hour down the road to a town where you are to meet a local detective who is your liaison to local law enforcement, not only in the main city where you all reside, but in some of the surrounding smaller towns. So you have probably met this person before. I'll let you decide how much you like him. So you pull up to the edge of this small town, and it is a small one-horse town. It is not very large. There are a few houses here and there, a general store, probably one bar somewhere. There usually is. As you pull up to the edge of town, you see someone familiar to you all standing there waiting for you. A tall, sort of thin blue lizard, with a police jacket on over his uniform. And you know this person, you have dealt with them in the past. This is Officer Steele. And he's here to help you.
Can I use my human ability real quick since we're entering this town for the first time? Because as a human, you know your history. When you enter a new place for the first time, you can tell your keeper one interesting fact your character would know about it.
Oh no.
Tell me. I hope it's a name for the town.
No, that's your job. My fact is that so this is a pretty small town, like on the right outskirts of the city. So my fact is Agent Smith knows that this town used to be or have sort of like the hub for a like way back in the day when locusts, like when back right after the crossing, there was like a smuggling operation, and where people were capturing some of the other like monsters and stuff and trying to like keep them and use them for things and smuggling them through this town. So there was sort of like underground smuggling ring that ran out of here.
Okay. Interesting.
Also, what is the name of this town?
Bergville.
Bergville. I love it.
Which I definitely thought of way before this moment.
Definitely.
So yeah, so this town of Bergville used to be a sort of stop on a smuggling line.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Anybody else have anything they can do? Great. So, you guys will pull up to the edge of the town in the mom van to Officer Steele, your blue lizard friend.
So,
You know this
Blue
person.
Steel.
I only had to say it twice for someone to get the joke. Yeah. So yeah, so you pull up. Officer Steele is standing there. You know him to be generally helpful, if a little standoffish. But he recognizes your van as you pull up and sort of waits for you to disembark and inundate him with questions.
I think I immediately get out of the van and I go walking straight up to Officer Steele and I say, "Officer Steele," and I flash the Aegis badge that I have and says, "We're here to take care of your problem."
Good to see you again, Smith.
Likewise.
So, what do y'all know?
Oh, people are getting sick and acting weird.
Yeah, well, they usually are in small towns like this one.
Strangers than usual.
They won't tell me much, so I don't imagine they'll be too forthcoming with strangers like yourselves.
No, but we
We're
will,
here to
we will
help.
still find out what is it at the heart of the issue. I suppose it is just fortuitous that you yourself are not afflicted by whatever this condition is.
Well, I thank my lucky stars for that. So, what you need to know. Very small town. People are getting sick, not showing up for work, and such. The kids are saying there's some kind of monster running around, but the kids are always saying stuff like that. Other than that, sort of on your own.
Has anyone been admitted to the hospital yet?
Not as of yet, though people are trying to convince town elder Eamon to go. He was one of the first to catch it, whatever it is.
Eamon. And where's he?
I assume at home. He hasn't left his home in several days, and he kind of points down the road. There's one side of the road that is several houses, and kind of at the end of the road there is a house that's a little bigger than the rest, 2 stories. Simple enough, but definitely the biggest house in the town. So he indicates that as the town elder's home.
So you haven't really seen any of the people who are sick?
Nope, they tend to stay inside. People are saying they're either having trouble sleeping or nightmares when they do sleep. So doesn't seem like too much of an illness to me, but you're the experts.
Well, insomnia happens, but for an entire town to suddenly be afflicted, that is very strange.
I will say it's not the whole town, but enough
Maybe.
that they called for help.
Bien sûr. But we are here now and we will check it out.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, any other oddities or happenings around the town lately that we should know about?
Not much that the people would tell me. I mean, other than people are having trouble sleeping or having those nightmares they're talking about. Not much happens here, to be honest.
Understood. I suppose we should talk to this town elder, Eamon, then.
You could, if he'll see you.
Oh, he'll see us. And Agent Smith turns around and starts walking back to the van.
Right, well, I'm gonna hang around at the bar if you need me, sort of the watering hole for this little place, so.
Okay.
We will be sure to keep you apprised of our progress.
All right. He walks away towards the bar.
The bar.
Yep, it's called the bar. Capital T, capital B. There's only one in the town.
But is it low to the ground or is it high up on the hill? Is the bar low or is it high?
You're gonna have to roll for that one.
8.
Yeah, it's up on a little bit of a hill.
So the bar is set pretty high. Good to know.
Alright.
For your first mission, it's gonna be pretty intense.
We got this.
Agent Smith, what do you need from the van? The people are in town.
Agent Smith walks around to the van and grabs his weapons and his SMG out of the back, holsters it or straps it across his back and says, "Well, if there's a creature around here, I'd rather be prepared."
You're humans and your inelegant carrying solutions and emerging from the vines and something that does not seem like it should have fit within the confines of the vines. Left suddenly has a hunting rifle that they just quickly check over before putting back in, and it doesn't. Again, it is a larger weapon than it seems like it should fit within the
Left was
confines of the
bigger
vines.
on the inside?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. Also, does Lefla's little flower follow the sun?
I think if
Or
they're
does this
not
spoke
putting
straight
any,
up?
I think if they're not putting any thought into it, it would. But it is also one of the main ways to tell what emotion Lefla is trying to convey physically, because it'll droop, it'll do a little boppity thing,
Oh, that's really
things
cute.
like that.
Okay.
And if a petal falls off, so help you.
Yes.
All right.
Shall we start with Zelda, or see if we can find someone else to talk to? Maybe someone else from the town who is not yet affected.
I mean, he sounds like he's the first one who got sick, so that might be a good place to start.
It seems like this elder is our best lead right now. Maybe he'll give us some information and we can split up after that.
Okay.
Sounds good. And I can certainly start looking into a course of treatment to help them. As he is the furthest along, he probably has the most severe symptoms. So, to the other, allons-y. And Lefla just starts going, and it kind of just looks like they hover along, like there aren't defined steps
Oh,
as they
okay.
go.
Okay. All right, so we'll all head down the road.
Yes, and I walk like a human places.
like humans do, I guess.
Yes.
With their big stompy feet.
What does okay? How does Periwinkle walk? Since we're talking about it,
I mean, she's got 2 legs and is probably just walking.
she walks on her hands.
Yeah.
Are her wings functional?
You know, you haven't seen her use them that way. So, I don't know. Maybe.
They're actually just swords that she has strapped to her back.
Yeah, they sort of like trail along behind. But I don't know.
All right. So, in all of your different ways, you walk down the road towards the village elder's house. Before we go any further, since we are starting this process, everybody roll to investigate a mystery.
Oh, okay.
We'll start here.
Oh, it's sharp. Hey.
Yes, so that is plus sharp.
I got a 7.
4.
Okay.
Mark
13.
experience.
13.
I rolled double 6s.
Dang, son.
Well, good start. All right. So I wanted to do this because you guys get to hold some, and you're able to ask these questions later on if you wish. So Lefla, you hold 1, which can be spent to ask me the following questions later on. Smith, you hold 2 for those same questions, and that move is in Roll20 where you guys can see those questions. And Periwinkle, you perhaps reveal some information later on that you might necessarily not want to be revealed.
Oh.
Those in mind, and we'll do more of these rolls later.
Okay. Do I tell you what that thing is, or do you
No,
decide that? Okay.
no, it'll come up.
Okay, cool.
All right. But so those of you that have hold, later on, you can then spend that to ask 1 or 2 of those questions.
Okay. And those are just we ask the questions of you, but we can still ask questions to the witness without spending.
You can still ask questions. You can still roleplay. This is just like things that you, once you get on the trail, you can ask these to guarantee that you have that information.
Cool.
Later on, and once we start doing more investigative things, we'll roll again. But this is a fun place to start. So remember your hold, or remember your mistakes, I guess. All right, so you guys head down the street to the village elder's home. That is correct. In the chat, you do. This is one of those games where you get XP for failing. So make sure that you guys mark those should you fail a roll. So you head down the street to the village elder's home. It's a pretty simple 2-story house, nothing too fancy about it. A door, windows, small step up onto a little modest front porch with a porch swing, and here you are. What do you do?
Knock authoritatively on the door.
Okay. What does an authoritative knock sound like? Okay, I believe it. Okay, so Ada Smith knocks loudly and authoritatively on the door. After a moment, you hear a little bit of shuffling on the inside. You hear a lock unlock, and the door swings open about halfway, and you see a woman standing there, a human woman, simple kind of clothes, wearing an apron, on the younger side, probably early 20s or so, and she greets you with a smile and says, hello, how may I help y'all?
We're here to speak with Town Elder Eamon.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Eamon is resting right now. He's asleep. Is there something that I can help you with?
take my badge and flash it one more time and say, we're here with Aegis, trying to take care of the problem that your town has been dealing with.
I'm sorry, I don't know much about all that big city stuff.
Ma'am, we're going to need to speak with Elder Aemon. I advise you wake him up.
All right, well, I'll do my best, but he needs his rest. I mean, with that flu going around.
He can rest after.
And at the very least, I can give him a checkup. I am a medical operative with Aegis.
Oh, excellent. Well, y'all come on in. Oh, how rude of me. My name's Alice. I'm the elder's housekeeper. Come on in. I'll fix you some tea.
Thank you.
All right. So Alice ushers you all into a little den, living room kind of area. Sits you down and serves everyone some tea, I guess.
No, thank you. Not while I'm working.
All right. Well, would you like some water or something, honey?
I'm fine.
Some water would be great, thank you.
Okay. Not a big tea crowd. That's all right. Well, I'll get y'all some water, and I will go see if I can't wake Eamon from his nap. Give me just a moment. And she scurries off and leaves you alone for a few minutes.
Periwinkle's just looking around. Are there any photographs or anything in here? Or art? What's this house like?
It's very plain. It's pretty simple. Simple furniture, a little bit older. Nothing really too fancy. Not a lot of photos or anything. There's one I think picture on the mantelpiece of a human man, kind of standing in a not super fancy, but wearing a kind of an older kind of dusty frayed overcoat in sort of a mayoral pose, which you can gather is probably the town elder Eamon from when he took over his town eldership. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. By the windows, there are little bundles of herbs hanging around, but not much else in this room. It's a simple man.
As a plant person and also as a medical person, would I have any idea what these herbs are, what they're for, or are they just decoration?
They're probably not just decoration. The ones that are hung by the window that you can see are eucalyptus, which has a number of medical uses.
Lindsay would know, but I do not.
It's
Smells
typically
nice.
now, especially in essential oils, for getting rid of headaches and clearing sinus problems, breathing problems. There's a lot of other ones too. That's just I know.
Okay.
Some of that hanging around in this particular room.
Leflo should probably take a blood sample while we're here.
I can do that, but of course, I always bring my kit with me, and I will pull out a little medical kit that has, as you know, just basic medical supplies, including stuff for drawing blood if needed.
Okay.
I'm assuming I can have this. It doesn't actually say I can out of my gear or anything.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, everybody's got kind of like a little first aid
Right.
kit,
Yeah.
so it stands to reason that you could have probably a couple of extra little doodads in yours, since you work in the medical department. All right. Anything else?
I think just wait for another minute, but if there's nothing, going to go and try and find where Alice and the Elder are.
All right, so she comes back after maybe 5 minutes or so. Even that seems a little long, but maybe 5 minutes max or so. And she says, I'm sorry, there is just really nothing I can do. He's really sleeping, and I don't really want to wake him. He hasn't gotten this good of a sleep, deep of a sleep, in a while since he started feeling unwell.
Well, I understand. Is it possible that I could go and examine him? There is still much I can learn from a sleeping patient.
Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt. We can look in on him. Y'all be quiet. And shoes off at the stairs. Eamon doesn't like shoes on the carpet upstairs.
Does Lefla wear shoes?
Does he have little sneakers?
I don't think they wear shoes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, no, probably no shoes for Periwinkle either.
Okay. I love this hippie group. No shoes. Smith.
I think Smith probably takes about 2 steps up the stairs in defiance of the shoes, and if she reacts to that in any way.
She does. I think she is kind of ushering the three of you up the stairs and kind of looks at you and says, now, pardon me, sir. I know you've got your fancy badge and all that, but you're in the elder's house.
I take a step back and I kneel down and I meticulously untie both of my shoes, slip them off, and set them neatly by the stairs next to it. After you.
And what did you say your name was?
Agent Smith.
Bless your heart, Agent Smith. I'm so glad you all are here looking into this. Now go on upstairs.
I'd like to use one of spend one of my hold.
Okay.
I'm getting a weird vibe from her, and so I'd like to ask, what is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here? I think it's pretty clear to you that Alice is not as happy with you all being here as she might pretend. And though she says it is fine for you to look in on the elder, she is not pleased.
Okay. I say, after you.
Well, aren't you just a gentleman?
But also, we do not know where the other is, so you must take us to him.
Well, you all are just something else. All right. This way. Yeah, I should take you upstairs.
As we're going up the stairs, I just surreptitiously reach into my under my jacket and I unsnap the holster on my pistol, on my 9mm.
Okay.
just in case, you never know.
Just in case.
Sure. All right. So you all follow Alice. Once you all get upstairs, down the hallway to a wooden door. She slowly kind of opens it so as not to make a lot of noise. And behind the door is a bedroom, furnished-ish. Again, the whole house is very simple, but there is a bed kind of in the center of one wall, a wardrobe to one side, a like dresser type to the other with a few kind of knickknacks and things on it. And in the bed there is an older, graying sort of human man snoring rather loudly, taking a nap.
Well, if you will excuse me, I will begin my examination. and head over to the side of the bed and pull out, a stethoscope, things like that, and try to conduct do as much as I can without waking him yet, and seeing if, does he react to me putting the stethoscope on him and things like that.
He does not. For all intents and purposes, he seems to be fine. On first glance, maybe a little thin, maybe a little gaunt, as someone who had been ill for a while might be. He is, as far as you can tell, breathing fine, clearly, everything like that. He doesn't necessarily have a fever or anything to speak of, so he seems like someone who maybe has been ill for a couple of weeks and is sleeping very soundly, but there doesn't seem to be, on first glance, a whole lot wrong with him.
Okay. Okay. I think what I want to try and do then is, and I don't know if you were imagining it, I'd already done this, but do, I guess, the thing they do to check for concussions where you open up the eye and shine a light in.
Okay.
Does he react to that, or does he keep sleeping through that?
He sleeps.
Well, is Lefla a doctor?
They're more of a nurse. They
Okay.
certainly didn't go through, many years of medical school,
I
but
was about to call you Doc, but I realized I don't want to do that if you're not. Yeah, I think Ames Spitter says that doesn't seem normal.
yes, the seed's a bit odd, though not, entirely out of the realm of possibility, but certainly still. Given that, from what we have heard, he was the first one to, succumb to whatever disease. These could be, advanced stages of whatever is happening in this town.
I'm making sure that I'm standing between the door and the lady that we're here with, if she's in the room with us.
She is just watching.
Mademoiselle Elise, about when did the elder begin falling ill? When did he start having trouble sleeping?
Well, I mean, I'd have to say, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago at the most. I haven't worked for him all that long, so.
But longer certainly than when he first became sick, no?
Oh, sure, yeah. No, I moved here about a month ago with my sisters.
So when he's not sleeping very deeply like this, what is his sleep normally like? I guess he doesn't sleep at all?
I mean, well, when I first met him and came to work for him, he was fine. I mean, he'd, get up early risers all in this town, go to work all day, come home, have dinner, maybe read for a bit, go to sleep. And about 2 weeks ago, I don't know, he was complaining he couldn't sleep, he was having these dreams. I mean, I tried to help him as best I could, but I'm no doctor, just got home remedies, things like that. And then finally, I guess it caught up with him.
Do you say what kind of dreams? Like bad
No,
ones?
he didn't really want to talk about them, so usually that means bad ones, but he's a private man.
So you had only been working for him for 2 weeks before this began?
That's right. Me and my sisters, we just moved here very recently, about a month ago.
And what are your sisters' names? I take out a note, like, or my tablet or whatever, and begin like taking notes and stuff on it.
It's my two younger sisters. They're twins, Aura and Nell. They work as housekeepers too, for some of the other families in town. They take real good care of us here.
And who else do they work for? I mean, yes, this is a small town, and I'm sure people have housekeepers, but it's just the fact that, you know, the elder has one. I'm not sure who else in town merits that. But again, like I said, I'm sure there are plenty of folk in this town who could afford to have help. But we will, of course, be talking to everyone in this town, and I was going to ask you, you know, obviously the other is a very busy man about the town, but is there anyone he, you know, in his official capacity meets with most often?
I mean, no, not really. He is kind of the whole thing big deal in this town. There aren't many of us. So I mean, he meets with good old Officer Steele from time to time, just, you know, checking in, things like that. But no, he mostly keeps to himself. Goes down to the bar every now and then to see everybody. It's simple running a town this small. I'm sure it's not easy, but
Does he ever have friends over?
no, not really. I mean, he's Eamon's a pretty private man, so he likes to read and things like that.
Where did you and your sisters move from?
We actually moved from a town, I don't know, about an hour north of here, a real small town called Rosemary.
Rosemary. All right. Do you have any sort of identification on you?
I mean, other than my pretty face? No, sir, I don't.
Well, when the elder is better, you're sure to get him to, you know, get on that. It doesn't do that. You've been in town for a month and you still do not have identification. I know there are many other cities where you would be heaped with taxes and fines for taking that long to get settled.
Well, like I said, they take real good care of us here. It I guess it just hasn't come up.
I have a question about the universe, Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
Does Locust require do they take censuses? Do you require like a state ID and stuff like that? So
I think to do anything in an official capacity, to drive and things like that, or to, I mean, obviously to get any kind of job that is, you know, paying over the table, things like that, you would have to have an ID. But in towns like this,
it's probably not uncommon.
you're probably not required to have an ID to be a housekeeper or anything like that.
Okay. Could you point out anywhere else for us where, other than the bar, where people gather? Any schools, libraries?
I mean, we don't really have a school per se. We have, you know, one teacher, but she sort of just teaches out of her house. That would be Miss Rose down the road. Real sweet. She's a little one like you. She's kind of looking towards Lefla.
Oh, another seedling. How merveilleux. I'm sure we will have. No, that was going to be stereotypical, and that is, we do not all know each other, but you know, it was. I'm sure it will be a pleasure to meet her.
You are just so sweet. But yeah, I mean, you can certainly talk to Miss Rose. She might be able to help you. Not a whole lot of children to be had, but hers and a couple of other of the townsfolk. Other than that, people mostly kind of keep to themselves. I mean, there's the bar, which, you know, everyone goes to at some point, but I don't really have much other insight than that. I have only been living here about a month, so.
And remind me, where did you say that your sisters worked? Who they worked for?
Oh, well, my sister Nell actually works for Miss Rose, as their kind of family housekeeper, gets on with the kids and stuff like that. And then my sister Aura, she works for the Saxons on the other side of the road. They're not very friendly.
Well, I think that is all we have for now. Is just one more procedural thing to do to ascertain what medically is happening here. I am going to need to take a blood sample from the elder, but as he is in such a deep sleep, it will not even bother him, and I've got bandages at the ready.
Well, all right.
And as part of our investigation as well, given that there is the potential for an outbreak in this town, we should probably take blood samples from everyone we can. Right, Lefla?
I suppose that would be prudent, yes.
If you don't mind, ma'am.
Oh, I mean, I'm not squeamish.
Well, then I will be with you in just a moment after. So go to get the elder's blood, and
Okay.
then have Rose sit down in a chair and do the thing of putting the little plastic thing around, finding the veins, all that good stuff. Is a phlebotomist would be so proud.
She's very Alice is very cooperative.
And we are done. Fini.
Oh, well, that didn't even hurt.
It never does as long as you are not looking.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with, officers? Oh, of course, yeah. As soon as he wakes up.
Well, thank you for your time, ma'am.
You're quite welcome. I'll show you out. And she shows you to the door.
Well, shall we head to the bar or go and find one of the other sisters?
It's tough to say. The fact that they moved to town 2 weeks before this started is a bit suspicious.
The timing is certainly very coincidental, but yes, perhaps we are being a bit hasty. We should try and find out some of the other people who have fallen ill first.
It might also be helpful to run the samples that we've taken, rule out any sort of mundane reasoning for this. If it's something as simple as a poisoning, then we'll let the proper authorities take care of it from here.
Yes, I can, take these back to the mom van and, shoot them off in the drones, and they'll be on their way back to HQ, and we'll get the results as soon as possible.
All right. Should we go to the same place, or would we cover more ground if we split up?
It is a small enough town. I do not know that we need to. There's not that much ground to cover, but you are the lead agent, the most experienced.
Something does feel off in this town, and I'd like to get to it as quickly as possible. But perhaps you're right. If we run into any sort of creature, it'd be best if we were together.
And for. Not just because I don't really have any of the moves that the mundane benefits from if they go off on their own yet. Yeah. You can play the mundane very much into the trope of the person who always needs to be rescued.
So you guys want to send off your samples first?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we return to the mom van and prepare your samples, as I'm sure Lefla knows how to do very skillfully, and send them back to Aegis for processing. That is going to take a little while. It might be as late as the following morning, so it might take up to a day to get those back. But they are off and being processed for you. And then where would you like to head after that?
Our best options would probably be well, since there's not much in this 2-horse town, maybe the bar.
Yes, or at the very least, someone there would be able to let us know of someone else who is ill but not comatose.
Fine. So you head off. Oh yes. So you head off to the bar down the road. There is just a big wooden sign on the front of the building that says "The Bar," capital T, capital B. You don't have to be very creative when there's only one bar in your entire town. So you walk in. It is an older, one-story wooden building, wood floors and wood paneling on the walls. It's like 11 a.m. So there are not many people in the bar. You do see Officer Steele, his tall, blue lizard shape, sitting at a table, kind of off in one back corner, sort of going over some papers in an official capacity, and just kind of keeping an eye on the room. So he sort of half waves as you walk in. There really is only one other person in the bar. He's sitting at the bar itself. No bartender behind the bar currently. One sort of humanoid shape, wearing a cloak with a hood drawn, sort of sitting at the bar by themselves.
Pardonnez-moi, do you know where the proprietor is? Directed at the cloaked individual.
No clue.
Well, that seems a bit odd. Do you mind sidling up near them, flashing the Aegis badge, which emerges from the vines and then comes back in? We are here on business from Aegis, and I was hoping you might be able to answer me a few questions. It would not take much of your time.
You hear a sigh from under the cloak, and so this person turns toward you. Their face and hands are dark, kind of black, and a little bit shifty, as if they don't catch the light. This person is a shadow. You all are pretty familiar with at this point. And from under the hood, these kind of bright yellow eyes kind of look out at you, looking vaguely irritated. What?
We were told that the bar here is the meeting place for the town, and despite the hour, I'm a little surprised that there are so few tenants at the moment.
Yeah, well, most people don't find themselves drinking at 11 a.m., but here you are. Is there something I can help you with?
I was wondering if you could let us know of anyone else in this town who has suddenly had trouble sleeping. We are told it is a bit of an epidemic.
Yeah, Allegedly. Lots of people. I don't know. Eamon, kids, my sister.
Your sister, you'll say? I'm
I
sure you'd
did.
be very worried. I am a medical professional from Aegis. I would be more than happy to give her an examination. We are here to help.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary.
Are you sure? It would be completely free of charge.
No offense. I have no idea who you are. And you've just kind of accosted me in the middle of a bar, so scuttle along.
Well, thank you for your time. I will leave you to it.
Okay. And so you walk away. The other two of you.
Well, there's like nobody here.
I walk back up to the shadow guy.
Okay.
Sir, what was your name again?
Corbin.
Corbin. As my friend here attempted, or colleague here attempted to advise you, we are here investigating a potential contamination or outbreak within this town. Now, while, again, my colleague was being polite in his request, I'm not so polite. We're going to need to see your sister in order to complete our examination, and if you stand in the way of our investigation, well, we might have to charge you with obstruction of justice.
I'm going to have you roll to manipulate someone.
Good. I'm the person that should be doing this.
To be used when you want someone to do something for you and they don't want to do it. Roll plus charm once you've given them a reason. That sounded like a reason?
Yeah. All right.
Oh boy.
Just giving you those chances to mark XP.
Yeah.
Well, you say that. I rolled an 11. I have a -1. That's a 10.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, they will do what you want for the reason you gave them. Something. If he asks too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it, or if there's no way they'd do it. Oh, okay. So I think you say this, and Corbin kind of looks at you, looks really, I guess irritated, a little upset, and kind of looks down, and after a moment looks back to you and says, "Look, man, sir, officer, what?
Agent.
Look, agent. What exactly is it you want from me?"
Right now, we're trying to find out what's going on in this town. Maybe people are just getting sick. It's not our problem. We'll move on. But there's a chance there's something worse going on here. If that's the case, it's our job to take care of it. If you care about your sister, you'll let this one do his job.
You really don't know what you're asking me.
Then explain.
My house. 1 hour. You can talk to my sister.
I flick my tablet towards him and say, address.
It's next door.
Oh.
Agent.
I flip it back.
Just don't tell anyone I talk to you.
Shrug. fucking walk back to my other my colleagues.
Okay, he's going to finish what he was drinking quickly, the glass down, and get up and kind of swoop in his cape out of the building towards his house. There are very few houses in this town, so he will let you know which one is his. It's like next door.
When I get back to Lefla, I say, we need to talk about your interrogation technique.
I mean, I was not interrogating him. I was trying to be polite.
Well, we're investigating, so you can't be so polite.
I suppose, but also, I am newer to this. I have not yet taken the interrogation 201 courses yet.
Agent Davidson is holding a seminar next week. It's at 3:00. And I set a reminder and I send it to a calendar invite.
Put it on his calendar.
Put it on their Google Calendar.
I recommend that you attend.
Okay. Well, we have an hour to kill. What do you think? Do we go speak with Miss Rose? Go and try and find these Saxons?
Miss Rose, that was the teacher, right?
Yes, the teacher, the other seedling, and one of the other employers for, I believe it was Nell.
And she works with kids, and didn't the officer mention that some of the kids were getting sick?
As did Corbin, so I imagine she would have some insight into what is happening.
Yeah, let's go talk to her.
Why don't the two of you go and talk to them? I'm going to do a walk around town and see if we might miss anything that's out of place around here.
Okay.
Just give us a holler if you need anything.
Okay, so we're splitting up.
Yes.
All right. Well, then we
Split the
will.
party.
Let's see. We will go ahead and follow Agent Smith and see what you are getting up to on your own, and then quickly go back to our duo. So you all leave the bar and split up, go your separate ways. Lefla and Periwinkle heading down towards another house. And Agent Smith, what would you like to do?
What I said. What I'm going to do is just kind of, if this is really just a very small community, I'm just gonna walk around the main streets, see if anything seems out of place. There are people out and about, shops closed, things like that. I'm probably gonna even go so far as I'll flash my badge to walk around people's properties and stuff to see if I notice any strange tracks or plants growing or things like that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Feels like more investigating a mystery.
Okay. I still have one hold from my last investigative mystery.
That's fine. You can hold it.
Okay. I just didn't know if I could spend that to answer the questions. But
yeah, you can. You have one left, and then if you want to know anything more, you'll have to roll again.
Okay. I'll go and roll and then see how much if I gain additional hold. Not as good. That is plus sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only a 7.
Okay, so you hold 1.
Okay. So I've got 2 hold now. I'm gonna spend 1 to I guess what happened here is kind of what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what.
Yeah. So you take a walk around the town. Again, not very big. You can kind of circle the whole thing, walking around a couple of properties. Do you go by the house that Corbin pointed out to you, or that you know to be Mrs. Rose's house, or do you go somewhere else?
Corbin was the shadow dude.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And that the house he pointed out to me was his house, or he was pointing out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think I that's probably the last one I go to. If that's where we're going to be meeting, we're supposed to be in the next hour. So I probably spend most of that hour walking around as much of the town as I can, and then spend the last little bit walking around that property.
Okay, sure. So you walk around the town. There's not a whole lot to be seen. You've already seen most of it at this point. There are not a whole lot of people around, other than Corbin, who you saw in the bar. You have not seen anybody on the street walking around, going to and fro. It seems that most people are probably in their homes. Most of the shutters and curtains are drawn, things like that, but there is not anything super strange. You sort of make your way around back past the town elder's home, and you notice the same thing you noticed before. It has got, you can see kind of from the street, those bundles of herbs hanging in the window. No one seems to be moving inside. You continue to walk past. Let's see what happened here. Two of the homes that you walk by, most people have these nice little mailboxes with their nice like family name on the outside. The house of the Roses, where you will probably at some point see your two companions going inside, and the house that you finally make it to, which Corbin pointed out as his house, has the last name Saxon written on the mailbox. So with a hop, skip, and a jump, you can make that connection there. Both of these houses, much like the town elder's home, seem to be simple but well kept. They have probably the same kinds of bundles of herbs hanging in the window. The Rose home and the Saxon home both have what look to be some kind of markings in the wood around the door frame and the windows.
Do I understand these markings, or have I seen them, things like this before?
I think you've seen things like them before. I think you all are probably familiar with runes and runestones and different carvings and things like that. No, I don't think you have to roll since you're spending one of your hold. These runes are pretty basic. They're sort of derivative of things that you have seen before that might be for like protection or a blessing on this house or something like that. These specific runes you haven't seen before. They're similar to things you have seen before. Lots of things that people like this do that don't generally really hold a lot of power in their small forms. But these specific ones, I don't think you have seen. They're similar to things you have seen before.
Okay. If that's my whole hour, then I assume that I meet up with them shortly after.
Okay. So we'll go to Lefla and Periwinkle, who are heading over to the home of Miss Rose. Okay. So you probably pass Agent Smith doing his walkabout.
Like waves.
Stop skulking so much. It's bad for your posture.
And so you make it to this home, which has a Rose kind of scrawled in this flowy script on the little mailbox in front. Nice house, simple house, a little kind of garden growing in the front. So you make your way up to the door and knock, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you knock on the door. After a moment, the door opens. A small small kind of gap, just enough to kind of be able to see another person on the other side of it. And you see, like Lefla, a seedling who has opened the door, a small plant-like humanoid, a more humanoid shaped than Lefla, with kind of discernible legs and arms, and this large head that is shaped like a rose bush and has little roses growing out of it. And the ceiling kind of looks out with kind of small like eyes set back into the bush, and says, "Oh, hello. Can I help you?"
Bonjour, mademoiselle. We are here with Aegis, flash the badge, and are investigating some of the unfortunate illnesses that seem to have cropped up recently. And we have heard that many of the children have fallen ill and claim to have seen a monster running around.
Oh, well, children say all sorts of things. Yeah, unfortunately, I am tending to my own children right now, who unfortunately both have come down with the flu. So if you'll excuse me,
I am actually a medical professional with Aegis, and I would be more than happy to offer my services.
They're very good at what they do.
All right then. I guess if you can make it quick, lots to do. So he kind of invites you in quickly. A very sort of hurried woman. And there, so as you enter the house, it is not quite as well kept as the town elder's house, but clean enough. Probably some toys kind of scattered around on the floor.
Is it regular sized or seedling sized?
The house?
Yeah.
The house it's regular sized, but there are lots of it looks like additions made onto it, sort of like near all of the counters, like steps that have been added, or like sections that have been lowered. So it's not built exactly like a human house. I think there are lots of almost, I guess, like accessibility options that have been added onto this house, because the seedlings are very small people.
Okay.
So stuff like that has been added on, for sure.
Got it. Just wondering.
Yeah. But yeah, some toys scattered around, and Miss Rose sort of leads you down the hall to a bedroom where there are two children, seedling children, much like their mother.
Little saplings, you might say.
Yeah, little ones, little baby roses, who are in bed, but awake, and sort of arguing with each other as you enter the room.
Oh, well, hello there, little ones. I've heard from your mother that you are not feeling very well. Is that true?
They kind of go like their little eyes kind of go wide.
It is okay. I am a nurse from the city, and I've heard that you were sick, and so I came to take a look and try and help you feel better.
They just kind of nod, and their mother is saying, "Well, if you could just get on with it, I have a lot to do."
It won't be but a moment, and I will begin, checking the kids over, trying to see if it's just the flu. But as I'm doing that, I would like to ask Miss Rose some questions So you are the teacher for the town, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And have classes been happening regularly? What with many of the children feeling unwell? Or is it, because these ones are down with the flu, you do not want it to spread to the other children?
Well, they were until about last week. So several of the children fell ill, and then my own. So we've suspended until everyone's feeling a little bit better.
Do you feel well?
Tired, but 2 kids teaching everyone else's. No, I feel fine.
And this may seem a bit random, but we stopped in at the other's house and heard from the housekeeper there, Alice, that one of her sisters, Nell, works here.
Oh, she does. Yeah, Nell. She keeps house for us. You know, watches the kids when they're not in school, that kind of thing. When we're running errands. Yeah.
And
Where-
is she?
Where is she now? Why isn't she helping you?
Oh well, she's gone out to the store. You know, picking up things for me so I can be here with the kids. Oh, she's just lovely.
Well, I'm sure we would love to speak with her, get her take on things. But as we were kind of discussing, well, I think now directing this more at the kids. Now I've heard from some of the other people in town that maybe there might be something scary that you all have seen recently. Maybe a monster?
Oh, now you don't want to hear about that, children's stories, that kind of thing.
Oh, but this will be most enlightening, I am sure. After all, we at Aegis sometimes have to face down monsters. And don't worry, little ones, we are here to make sure everyone is safe and sound and healthy.
Have you roll to manipulate someone?
Okay. I'm good at that.
Plus charm.
Yep. That's a 12.
Oh, dang.
Okay, so I think one of the kids kind of looks between you and their mom and back to you and kind of whispers very quietly, yeah, we saw something.
And what did you see?
The nightmare lady.
The nightmare lady? Oh, that sounds so threatening. Now, did you see the nightmare lady in a nightmare, or were you awake?
Well, she comes in our dreams, but well, we both saw her. Super scary. Long hair, long nails.
Now, you say you saw this in your dream. Did you both have the same dream on the same night?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is... Well, I'm sorry. Nightmares are never any fun. But, you don't have to worry. Like I said, me and my friend Perry here, I'll let you in on a little secret. She is very good at hunting monsters.
Really?
One of the best.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure out what's up with this nightmare lady and we'll show her who's boss.
The kids seem to settle down a little bit.
And something that will help with facing the nightmare lady and for being such good patients during this exam. The most important part of my medical kit, some lollipops.
They take them and seem very happy, while Miss Rose is still a little frazzled. Okay, well, is there anything else I can do for you? I really should, get back.
Get back to what exactly if there are no classes?
Well, running an entire household is not exactly an easy job, especially with 2 sick kids.
Oh, yes, I quite understand. Let's see. Did anything in checking the kids over seem like it was the flu, just the flu, or maybe something more?
Much the same as the town elder, Eamon. They seem tired, drained, that kind of thing. Maybe a little thin, a little gaunt, but no fever, no other symptoms.
Well, if the kids are able to rest, you should let them, but I would suggest, and I would, offer some medical advice that would make sense for helping them get more rest.
Great.
And for you as well, you do seem I understand things are a little tricky, but you have to make sure you are taking care of yourself as well. Because if you don't take care of yourselves, who will be there to take care of your children?
Well, wonderful advice, doctor. But is there anything else I can do for you?
When Nell gets back, do let her know that we would like to speak with her. She can probably find us at the bar.
Of course, I'm sure she would love to help. She's a delightful young lady.
I imagine it runs in the family. And
All right.
if the kids get any worse, just feel free. I will be more than happy to come back and offer some more medical aid.
Absolutely. We'll call you. And she starts ushering you out of her house, which you do notice has a lot of the same kind of similar, and Smith kind of notices from the windows before, like bundles of eucalyptus and different kind of herbs hanging from the windows.
Yeah. I think before she shoves us out, I would leave her one of our business cards, because I imagine we have business cards or calling cards.
Sure you do.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. Okay, so she ushers you out of her house, and you go to meet up with Agent Smith, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then we will, before you go in to talk to the Saxon family, go ahead and take a quick break so we can stretch and refresh our drinks and think about what we're going to do for the second half of the session. But we'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. See you soon. And welcome back, everybody. We are back with All Myths Are True, episode 1, first episode of our new Monster of the Week game. If you're just joining us, welcome. If you waited through the break so patiently, welcome back. We will go ahead and jump right back into it. So the three of you find yourselves outside of the house that Corbin had previously pointed out to you as his own after you have killed the hour that you had to show up. Outside is much the same as every other house in the town. Very simple, kind of one-story house. On the mailbox, in a simple script, the last name Saxon is written. And out front of the house, a little bit different than the rest of the houses, tied to a stake, sort of laying in the grass, head on its paws, is a dog. A black dog, black lab type deal, wearing a collar and on a leash tied to a stake. What do you do?
Shoot the dog. No.
Ugh. You guys are monsters.
I mean, two of us are monstrous races.
Yeah. But dogs, no.
Yeah, no. It was a bad joke.
What do you really do, you monsters?
Can we just assume that we fill each other in on everything that we learned? Okay.
Unless anybody has anything they want to not share, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Nope.
Or don't hold your peace, I guess, because you're going to tell everything.
No. I guess one question that I actually meant to ask before we came back, but a clarifying question about the world. It's just kind of known that there are monsters, right? It's not something
Yes.
Agent is trying to keep under wraps.
No, the history that you got in your well-known introduction video, most of that is pretty well known. I wouldn't say a lot of people know like the cause or anything behind it, but everyone pretty much knows that the crossing happened, that there is magic, there are monsters, and things like that.
Yeah, but monsters are still probably pretty rare, which is why the mom was, dismissing like, oh, there's a monster.
Yeah, so you are there. You are at least a generation removed from the crossing and its aftermath. So everything is settled. There is like a whole generation of people who don't remember that happening. They just know that it happened, and that would have been after monsters weren't necessarily overrunning the entire planet anymore. So we're a little bit removed from that.
Okay, just making sure. Well, I suppose we should go and see the sister and find out why it seems to be such a problem for us to talk.
That seems like a good idea.
There's a dog There's a dog there, though.
I just pat the gun on my in my holster. I said, I think we'll be fine.
You have issues with dogs, Perry?
More like they have issues at me. I've been barked at a lot by dogs. I don't know what it is about us, but
Well, it's tied to a stake, so I don't think you need to worry about it attacking you.
okay.
Okay, so as you stood there talking, the dog, who is laying down kind of near the front door, has looked up because it hears you and knows you're there, but is just probably has sat up at this point, but is just sitting, kind of looking at you like.
Yeah.
So you just
I don't know
walk
what
past
dogs
it
do.
to the front door.
Yeah, like open whatever gate there is if there is one. I think Lefla will go out of their way and say, "Oh, petit chien," and just start scratching it.
Okay. The dog accepts the scritches. So you kind of scratch behind his ears. He's got a collar on with a big name tag that reads Archie.
Archie?
Cute.
And so you scratch the dog's ears, and Archie just kind of sits there for a moment, kind of looking you over, kind of pants a little bit, and just kind of sits.
Okay. Perry's probably like sort of hiding behind Agent Smith a little bit. Like is putting him between her and the dog.
Okay. Yeah. So does Periwinkle have a history of being barked at by a lot of dogs?
Yeah,
Probably.
they're like, what is this big bug thing?
Okay. This dog does not do that. Just kind of looks at you. He looks very friendly, but doesn't bark or anything like that. Just kind of sits very, very dutifully and accepts the pets. And just kind of looks at you, all of you. But yeah, he do not bark.
Such a good boy. Un petit garçon. We are going to go and talk with your mommy and daddy. Or at least your daddy. Au revoir.
Okay, so you say goodbye to Archie, and he lays back down on the grass. Just lays there. Very well behaved doggo. So now that have we all petted the dog
No.
as if we want to? We done the pets?
Yes. I've already walked up to the door and knocked on it.
Okay, so Agent Smith has knocked on the door as Lefla is petting the dog, and Periwinkle is hiding as best she can behind them. So you knock on the door. It is quiet for a little bit. I think just as you are thinking that you will knock again, the door cracks open, and you see another shadow person, not the one that you met before, but one that is a little bit smaller, and with a little bit of a higher pitch voice, says, "Are you the agents?"
Yes, we are.
Okay. Come in. Now she kind of opens the door just enough to let you all kind of squeeze through.
We going?
Right, so you all come into a mostly darkened house. Obviously this is not Corbin that you spoke with before, but this other shadow kind of ushers you into a mostly darkened sitting room with a couple of lit candles, and says, "Corbin said you were coming by. I'm Vesper."
Nice to meet you.
Flash my badge. Agent Smith.
Agent Smith. Oh, what do you want to know?
Well, we heard you might be not feeling very well.
That's one way to put it.
Can you tell me a little about the symptoms? I am a medical professional.
I started feeling off, I guess, about I don't know, a week ago. I just couldn't sleep at all. I tried everything. I mean, a lot of us have tried everything. We tried, tea, we tried herbs, we tried medicine, friggin' spells, everything, and nothing would work. And then finally I started sleeping again, but I've been having these nightmares, and every time I wake up from one, I just feel worse.
And in these nightmares, have you been seeing a figure with long hair and nails, perhaps a lady of some kind?
Yeah.
That is troubling, but in a way good to hear. It certainly will help us in figuring out whatever they seize. And you say started feeling off about a week ago. I suppose I must ask, because we have heard, we stopped in at the elder's house first, obviously, and learned from his housekeeper Alice that her sister is under your employ here, or?
Yeah. Listen, I really shouldn't be telling you this.
It's okay. You can trust us.
I think Aura has something to do with it.
Could you be a little more specific?
Well, her and her sisters only came into town about a month ago, but well, we don't get many new people here, and they kind of just moved right in and took right up looking for jobs and stuff. And we really needed somebody to keep house, my brother and I. And he's terrible about it. And, well, I work a lot, so we let her in, but she put all this weird stuff around our house, and I'm not supposed to go in there, but she stays with us a lot in one of the rooms in the back of the house, and she's got some weird stuff in there. Listen, I could get in real trouble for telling you. Aura's she's not real nice.
She's under your employ, though. You're worried about getting in trouble with your housekeeper?
You know what? I probably shouldn't have said anything.
Vesper, listen to me. We are from Aegis. This is our job. We are professionals. And in order to do our job and make sure you and the children and everyone else in this town stays safe, we need to know as much as you can tell us. And I would like to use my Trust Me move.
Okay.
Roll plus charm. On a 10 plus, they'll do what you say, no questions asked. On a 7 to 9, something else. That is a 9. So on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but the keeper chooses one. They ask you a hard question first. They stall and dither a while, or they have a better idea.
Okay. Listen, like I said, Aura's She's a little commanding, I guess. I really shouldn't be talking to you. I really shouldn't have said anything, but I can give you the key to her room. But I can't say anything else.
I think that will be most beneficial.
All right. And she sort of gets up and goes to a box that she has sitting on a bookshelf over to one side, and Vesper is not looking great. I think as you guys see her kind of get up and walk across the room, she moves very slowly. She's even in her kind of vaguely humanoid, kind of shadowy form, is very thin and kind of and wispy, more so not totally solid. So I think she's doesn't look like she's doing great. But she pulls a key out of a box, kind of walks over and hands it to you, Lefla. Says, "Listen, you gotta watch out for her. Her and her sisters. Please don't tell them I told you."
I will not know a word. But where is Aura right now?
I don't know. She kind of comes and goes as she wants.
You sit down, you rest. You don't need to try to sleep, but you should rest. Take it easy.
All right.
Yeah, we'll figure out what's going on.
Y'all be careful in there.
We are professionals. We are ready for whatever may be in there.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Go and kick down the door.
Yeah, can we go look at that door?
Mhm.
Is there like runes or anything special about it?
Let's see.
I mean, we saw like runes on the door of like entering this house. But do we see any more
Yeah.
inside?
Yeah, I think you see around the door frame kind of similar sets of runes kind of carved into the wood that you saw on the front door and the windows. Which you all will generally know to be, I don't know that you have seen these specific ones before, but they are generally derived from like runes of protection, quote unquote. So.
Okay, well,
I draw my gun.
Okay.
that may be a bit excessive, but here we go.
I've found worse things in more inconspicuous places.
That is certainly true. Anyway, take the key, put it in the lock, and try to open it.
Okay, you open the door. And Smith, I assume you're going in first based on the face that you're making and
Yes.
the wild arm swinging.
I'm slicing the pie.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, so you walk into the slice of pie. So you walk in. There is a bedroom before you. Some generally normal furnishings. There is a bed. There is a rug stretched out across the floor. There is a dresser on one side with some knickknacks on it, a jewelry box, that kind of thing. But nothing that looks immediately strange. There's like on the other side of the room like a wardrobe where you would theoretically keep clothes and things like that. But it just looks like a woman's bedroom.
Okay. Well, I still have some investigate a mystery hold, so I think I'll do the obvious thing. After that cough.
You'll
Oh,
cough.
yes.
Okay, you cough.
And there goes my hold.
Yep. Too bad.
What is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here? Okay. I think Lefla, as the three of you enter the room, kind of looking around, the rug that is on the floor it doesn't really match the rest of the decor in the room. It is much nicer than everything else. It is a very, very nice rug. And may not be exactly what it seems. And then the other thing would be the jewelry box that is sitting on the dresser. Those two things, I think, stick out to you as perhaps concealing something due to the fact that they are much nicer and seem sort of out of place as compared to the modestness of the rest of the room and the rest of the house.
I will indicate as much to my teammates.
Okay.
Just gonna kick up the rug.
Okay, you kick it up.
Mm-hmm.
You kick up one side of the rug. There's nothing under it, but as you touch it, the rug starts to move on the floor, and the end of the rug snaps around your ankle and grabs you and starts trying to pull you down onto the floor.
I shoot the rug.
Oh
Okay.
no.
That seems right. Yeah. So you would roll to kick some ass, I guess, against
Yes,
the rug.
Kick that
Please.
rug's ass.
I had my
Please.
gun out, so
Please. Yeah, you did. No, you were super ready. I was trying to find some action-y music.
maybe quick unless the rug is not a fan
We'll
of
see.
bull.
The rug grabs you around the ankle and is trying to. You guys see the ends of this rug sort of snap around Agent Smith's ankle, and start to try to drag him down to the floor. You can roll to kick some ass. Which you're probably pretty good at, right?
Allegedly. Well, I rolled a 5 and I have a +1, so that's a
Look.
6.
Okay, so
Oh
on a
no.
miss, you get your ass kicked instead.
Oh no.
Which I think 6 is a miss, right? That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say you try to shoot the rug, but aim wide, so the bullet goes into the floor, and in the process, you're thrown a little off balance because something is grabbing your ankle, and the rug sort of yanks, and Smith falls back. You crack your head on the floor. I guess you take 1 harm.
Okay, I
Your
have
armor probably gets rid of that. It's a
I have
rug.
3 armor, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're fine, but probably very embarrassed by this.
Does your
the other
pride have armor?
yeah, I would like to know that. The other 2 of you, as this is happening, can react, but you also hear the Smith probably went in the room first. Who went in after Smith?
I probably would have got it next.
Periwinkle, and
Yeah.
then on the end. So Periwinkle, you will sort of notice as Smith is being kind of kicked to the ground. The wardrobe on the wall behind you is also kind of shaking, and the doors are clattering. So that either the 2 of you can react.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, Periwinkle's gonna pull out like what looks like a crystal, and then it like clutches it, and it like lights up and turns into a spear.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, it sort of like grows and shapes into this sort of
Okay, very cool.
her weapon of choice, and she's going to gonna stab the carpet, maybe stop it from getting Agent Smith.
Okay, so
Kinda
you'll
like
also
stab
roll
one
to-
corner down.
Yeah. You'll roll to kick some ass,
Okay.
which is plus tough unless you have something that changes that stat.
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Am I tough? I'm not that tough. It's fine. Oh, but I rolled really good. That's a 9.
Okay, so you get.
Yeah, because I have a -1. Yeah.
Yes. So you inflict harm on each other. Is what it is.
Oh,
So do you know
okay.
how harm your spear does.
It do. Let's see. 1, 2, 2 harm, I think.
Okay. I mean, it's a rug.
Yeah. Yeah, because let's see. The staff part does 1 harm, and then the blade does +1 harm. And then it has the close tag and the heavy tag, and I don't know what those mean yet. I should have looked those up.
Close just means that's like the range. You just have to be close to it. It's
Okay.
farther like hand, and then close is like the next one. So you're not right up on it, but you are within close
okay.
range because the spear is longer.
Mm-hmm.
And heavy means it's heavy. Maybe it's somewhere in the book. Not important. So Periwinkle sort of holds this gem out in front of you, and it turns into this very large spear, which she then sort of stabs down into the rug near Smith's foot, severing lots of threads and kind of slicing parts of the rug in half,
Mhm.
and it sort of lets go of Smith's leg and kind of whatever rug does when it dies. I don't know. It's a rug, you guys. It sort of just lays out on the floor again, sort of torn up and with a large hole in it. But Smith, you are free, and the rug seems to have stopped moving. The wardrobe behind you is rattling very angrily. Lefla?
Oh boy. Because Lefla is not super great in a scrap. I'm wondering if I could. I want to use magic, but I'm very bad at that.
You can try.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I will attempt to use some magic. This is gonna go well with my -1.
What do you want to do?
I want to, because it says one of the effects it can do is bar a place or portal to a specific person, type of creature. I want to stop the wardrobe from coming at us.
Okay.
So just throw up a barrier in its
Okay.
face.
So you roll weird.
Yep. Nope, that is a 3.
Okay, that's exceptionally bad.
Yep. You lose control of the
so,
magic.
yes,
This never ends well.
Oh
you lose
no!
control of the magic. So as I think Lefla tries to channel the magic from the world around them, I think you are starting to try to summon this force to put in between you and the wardrobe. However, it is a little too powerful for you, or a lot too powerful for you. And unfortunately, there is kind of this blast in front of Lefla, which then sparks and sort of sets the wardrobe and maybe the floor in front of it on fire. Which is a problem because you are in a house that is made of wood. So you now have a flaming wardrobe in front of you. Anything any of you would like to do?
Agent Smith just rolls over on the floor, coming free, and I think sees the fire approaching and sees how bad this is already getting, and just goes, "Oh shit!" And I think I just swing because it can't get any worse. I take swing out from the strap behind my back the SMG. And
Kill the fire with bullets.
I just level it at the wardrobe,
Okay.
hoping to end this quickly.
Okay. Try.
Oh, boy.
Kick some ass. Shoot a
I mean,
wardrobe.
the house is already on fire, so what are some bullets gonna do? Okay, that's much better. 9 plus 1 is 10.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, choose one extra effect from the list. So right now it is you inflict harm on each other, and you get one extra from the 10 plus list.
Okay, so I'm going to okay, here's what I want to do. I want to force them where I want them.
Okay.
Because the wardrobe is on fire. Is there a window in this room?
Yes.
Okay. I want to try to shoot the wardrobe out the window since it's on fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. That's my
Okay.
goal.
Yeah. So Agent Smith, trained in
3
the
harm, by the
ancient
way.
art of gun fu, gets just the right angle with his SMG on the wardrobe, and focus fires to focus a lot of force in one area, and the force of the shot, because it was just so good, sort of knocks the wardrobe, the angry flaming wardrobe.
Maybe I shoot like the base of it to like weaken it, and then I just shoulder check it out the window.
Okay, yeah, sure. So inflicting a lot of force on the bottom of the wardrobe, and then pushing it over and out the window, and now the fire is outside as the wardrobe goes tumbling through the glass. And as this happens, which you have maybe kept the house from burning down in this short time. As you do so, as sorry, as this just complete nonsense happens, you all hear a noise from the bedroom door that you came in, and standing in the door is a woman that you have not seen before, but have seen someone who looks very much like her before. She looks a lot like Alice, a little bit younger, with a sort of evil looking, I guess, smirk on her face, and just kind of looks at all of you and says, "Well, now, what are you all doing in my room?"
I point my gun at her.
Oh, y'all city folk are so cute.
We're with Aegis. Now, get on the ground and put your hands behind your head.
Oh, I know who you all are. Smith. Lefla. Periwinkle.
It's Agent Smith.
Well, Archie isn't so good with titles and things like that, but he sure is good with faces.
I knew I should have shot that dog.
Now. Let's not resort to violence.
It's a bit late for that. Your furniture tried to kill us.
Well, you stepped where you didn't belong. Tell you what, why don't we all take a little visit to my sister? Maybe we can sort this out.
Now, why would we do that? By my reckoning, you're the one responsible for all of this.
Because between me and Nell and our oldest sister, we can kill everyone in this town with a snap of our fingers. Now, Agent Smith, I know you love your guns, but now you don't want to kill a bunch of innocents, I think is what you would call them.
like to spend one of my hold
Okay,
to investigate a mystery.
sure.
What sort of creature is this?
What sort of
Ooh.
creature is this? Based on all of the clues that you have at this point, which you guys have a long list of, the runes, the bundles of herbs that seem to be hanging around a lot of these houses, the nightmares, and the controlling of dreams. This is a night hag.
So why did y'all come to this town if you're just willing to kill everybody?
Oh, well, that's not really for me to say. You're gonna need to talk to my sister. She's kind of running the show. I'm just here to make sure you make it there in one piece, unless you try to run and then, well, I have to kill you. No hard feelings, obviously.
Not think you understand what it means to kill another person.
Most people don't even really think of me as a person, so.
Well, fine. Take us to your sister then. Makes it all the easier to kill the rest of you.
You are just something else, all of you. Well, come on. No running now.
But first, and Lefla's gonna take the rug and use it to pat out what little fires are remaining. But as they're
Oh.
doing that, also try to surreptitiously snag the jewelry box.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Feel like you should roll something. Let's
Yes.
do act under pressure.
Yep.
Ooh, that doesn't
The roll
look
was
a good one.
cool.
Nope, that's not great. That's a total of 4.
Okay, on a
Oh,
miss.
buddy.
Things go to hell. Whatever that means. So I think she sees you sort of reaching for the jewelry box on your as you're trying to pat out the fire. I think she sort of sees a vine going out towards the jewelry box, and she says, "Now, Lefla, y'all have already torn up my rug and burned and destroyed most of my clothes. I don't think you need to steal my little music box, now do you? If you really want to hear the song, I can play it for you, honey."
I was not going to steal it. Stealing has a very specific definition and implications.
Now listen, you little creature, you are getting on my last nerve. As she reaches out and with one finger that as she reaches towards you sort of grows kind of long and gnarled and has this nail and just boop touches Lefla right on the forehead. Let's see.
Is she messing with my flower?
No, she just boops you a little bit. I was gonna have you roll something, but I don't know what it would be. Roll cool one more time.
Okay.
Oh, really?
That's better. That's an 8.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think you realize what is happening because this is a very magical being. I think putting all of your clues together and sort of putting together the symptoms of what is going on, and you realize sort of what this creature is and what she can do just as you go to sleep. And Lefla falls asleep. Anybody else?
I'm fine. Ready to go.
They're just sleeping, right?
Oh, they're fine. For now. All
I'm
right,
gonna
well.
scoop them up.
Yeah, gather up your little friend and follow me. And you follow Aura, who you can assume this to be, to the village elder's house. Lefla sleeping. Periwinkle carrying them. Lefla, you're having horrible nightmares. What would Lefla have nightmares about?
Oh no!
Well, I mean, they probably haven't had this one for a while, but an old familiar one about coming back home and finding their partner eviscerated, slaughtered, and the monster over them, feeding on them. But I think that morphs from that into, what the kids described as the Nightmare Lady, and a mix of that to, what other things are there to be scared of? I want to say clowns, but no.
Everyone's scared of clowns.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you Lefla, I think while they're carrying you over, is sort of stuck in this loop of this nightmare of what happened to their partner being killed, and it is a sort of over time. It's a short loop, and it's kind of morphing into the Nightmare Lady and what the kids described being an integral part of that, and having something to do with what happened to their partner. And so you're kind of stuck in this very terrifying reliving of that. All right,
Well-
so you all very spooky. You all make it over to the village elder's house, where Aura sort of shepherds you inside and up the stairs into a familiar upstairs hallway into a room across from the town elder's bedroom, where you see quite the sight. This is not a nice room. Well, maybe it once was a nice room, but all of the furniture in what looks to be like what used to be a guest room or another bedroom or something like that has all been pushed to the side. In the center of the floor, there is a large circle that has been carved into the wood, with lots of runes around the outside, and it's kind of giving off this faint, like, orange glow. And on the hanging from the ceiling, there are lots of leaves and herbs and things like that. And on the other side of the circle, kind of standing there, are two women. One that you recognize as Alice, and the other who you recognize because she looks identical to Aura, who is pushing you into the room. You can assume is Nell, and so Aura kind of pushes you into the room, locks the door behind you, and you see Alice from across the room sort of smile at you and says, well, back in my house again. Can I help you all with something? Maybe get you some tea?
No, I think we're all right.
I think we're doing fine.
Are you? Well, little Lefla there seems to be a little troubled.
Yeah. Could you wake him up, please?
Now, why would I do that?
Because we're gonna make you regret it if you don't.
Bless your little hearts. You want to back that up, Sweet Pea? As far as I'm concerned, we've done very little damage to you and your little group here. So why don't you just scurry along back to your computers and your tall buildings and your big city and leave me in my town alone?
How many of them are in here right now?
There's 3 of them.
3 of
So
them.
one of them behind you, who has just locked the door, and Alice and the other one across the room from you, across this glowing runic circle that is on the floor.
Seems like we're missing someone.
Who's that?
I thought there were 4 of you.
No?
I thought she said big sister before. Was she just talking about her talking about Alice? I misunderstood. Ignore that.
Oh, she doesn't ignore that.
Fine.
Now, honey, are you all right?
No, but if there are only 3 of you here, this is just going to be too easy. You think this is the first coven that I've dealt with?
I think it's the first one like this. Smith.
I doubt it. Now, you can release your hold on my co-worker here. I can call in Aegis and we can bring you in peacefully. Or I can just bring all 3 of your heads in and I'll still get paid.
I'd like to see you try. And as she says that, I think you hear this horrible kind of cracking noise from behind you, and Aura behind you, and the 2 across the runic circle in the floor in front of you start to grow and change, and these young women who were previously very unassuming and sort of dressed in their housekeeper garb start to change. Their hair starts to grow and they hunch over and their arms grow long and their fingernails grow into these long, terrible talons, and they become quite monstrous before your eyes. And the one behind you, Aura, is going to, at her eldest sister's nod, take a big swipe at the back of Agent Smith. But you all can react in that moment. What would you like to do?
Dodge.
Dodge. Okay.
Can I try to use magic to wake Leffla up?
You
to
can
sort of break
yeah.
whatever curse is on them?
Yeah, you can. So you will roll for use magic plus weird.
Oh, okay.
While I find some more exciting music than this one.
Okay. Oh, man.
That's fun.
Well. Dang it, that's a 6.
Okay, so that is a miss.
Dang it, it was
on
so
a miss,
close.
you lose control of the magic.
I was going to ask, do I have to decide to help before they roll or after?
No, I think after's fine.
Okay, because I could try to help. I'm not very good at magic either, but I imagine Agent Smith knows a little thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah, you all know a thing or two about magic, so.
Okay, so I wouldn't use the help out move by maybe like probably just having like little pieces. I imagine kind of like sort of supernatural style, like a charm or something that I can flip over to Periwinkle as I'm dealing with the hag.
Okay, yeah, so I think you pull out this this charm that you keep on yourself and you toss it to Periwinkle. You will roll plus cool.
Okay.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. That's a 3
Oh no.
plus 2 equals 5. So,
Okay, so you do a very bad job of helping.
Yeah.
Smack me right in the face with it.
You expose yourself to trouble or danger without helping. So I think in trying to help Periwinkle in that moment, you in no way can defend yourself from Aura coming at you. So she is going to come at you with a claw attack. You're going to take 4 harm.
Jesus.
Well, you did a bad job. You sort of opened yourself up to an attack. So she is going to slash at you with these big claws that she has. I think your armor handles
3 of
most
those, yeah.
of that. Yeah, but with the harm that she does do, as Smith tries to toss you this charm and opens himself up to this attack, you guys kind of see a little bit of blood kind of splatter across the wall that is next to him. And Periwinkle, you also failed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you try to channel this magic to wake Lefla up, and you are trying to channel this kind of like psychic energy from yourself into Lefla, but you being pretty unskilled in the ways of magic, this kind of goes awry, and you can feel yourself kind of losing control, and this blast sort of emanates from you into Lefla. Lefla, you wake up, but in your waking state, you are still you're awake, but you are still kind of in this nightmare state, and so everything is sort of dark and scary, and every person in this room, friend and foe alike, all look like the Nightmare Lady.
No.
And so there's just a bunch of scary hags around you, essentially, and you're
Yeah.
probably terrified. What you do with that?
Yep.
Up to you.
Can I still tell that there is a magic circle on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
What I want to try and do is scramble away from everyone, pull out my multi-tool, and just like score a line across the circle and try and just make it blow up or
Blow
whatever.
it all
Ooh,
up.
break it,
Okay,
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Let's do act under pressure.
This has worked so well for me before.
You're doing great.
That's an 8.
Okay. So, oh geez. I'm gonna give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. I'm gonna give you a price to pay. You looking at this, with you've had enough training at this point. This is a very, very powerful piece of magic that is on the floor in front of you. You can disrupt it. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take it.
Okay. You are going to. How much harm can you guys take? 8.
I'm
Wait,
not.
how much? Does Lefla have armor?
Nope.
Great. You're gonna take 4 harm
Okay.
from the circle, and this wound is unstable. So you all kind of see Lefla in this terror kind of scrambling across the floor, take out this multi-tool that they carry, and sort of score a big line in the wooden floor to disrupt whatever this circle is. And there, as they do this, is this big blast that is sort of fiery and burns. And so there is this large like burn mark, this scorch mark across about half of Lefla's body as they're kind of blown back, and they're a little bit on fire. So that is gonna continue to cause problems later on.
Yikes.
Hopefully it hecked up the Hags Day, destroying their magic
Hopefully.
circle.
So as you cut this big line in the summoning circle, you can see Alice across the circle sort of let out this howl of anger, and she is going to fly across the circle Oh, you're kind of on fire. Tora's Periwinkle, who has sort of facilitated this situation, and grab onto your face, and
Not my bug face.
you can do something in response. She is going to try to kind of grab onto you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stab her with my spear as she comes at me.
Okay, let's kick some ass.
Yeah. 7.
Okay, that is
Yeah,
inflict
7.
harm on each other. Okay. So you will inflict 2 harm on her. I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you well.
And my spears also has a tag magic. I also don't know what that tag means.
That's
I should
good.
Look this up.
That is good. For the purposes of fighting magical things. But so you leave a pretty big, as she is coming towards you, kind of drive the spear into like her side, leaving this spear in front of you. She is going to grab onto you and sort of let out this kind of psychic blast against you. And just very briefly, the room kind of goes dark. What does Periwinkle have nightmares about?
Oh, what does she have nightmares about? That is a good question. She probably relives nightmares of like being like the runt, the like littlest of her clutch. She was like the last one. And like always got teased and about that. And so like it's like that but like magnified, that like she's a failure at everything.
Okay. Yeah, so I think she grabs onto you and you stab the spear into the side of her, but she has like one moment to grab you, and just for a second, Periwinkle, the room goes dark, and you are surrounded by these like giant versions of anybody who ever bullied you, anybody who ever told you you weren't good enough, just talking down at you, telling you so. Smith and or Lefla?
Okay. Yeah, I think Smith is gonna have to do something here. I think I got hit pretty hard by the one, even though my body armor took care of most of it. I want to take a look around, kind of get an idea of everything post explosion, and try to get a read on what's like what all is going on in this room. So I'd like to do read a bad situation, just kind of survey my surroundings, and seeing what I can get.
Okay, yeah. Roll plus sharp. Unless you have something that changes it.
I don't. That is a 9 plus 1 is a 10.
That's very good. So you hold 3. One hold can be spent to ask the following questions.
Okay, I think I know this.
Which are in the list. I'm not going to answer them.
That's
I'm not
fine.
going to read them all. I mean,
I want to know. Are there? Sorry. Yeah. What's the biggest threat?
okay. You want to go one at a time?
We can do it one at a time, or I can ask all 3.
Yeah, no, let's do one at a time. So what's the biggest threat? Currently, Alice is the biggest threat, based on Lefla exploding their magic circle, whatever that was doing, and also the way that her sisters sort of defer to her. Alice is your biggest threat.
Okay. I want to know what's most vulnerable to me.
What's most vulnerable to you? As far as the sisters go, I'm gonna say, yeah, This makes the most sense. Out of the three, because they are the only vulnerable things in the room, Nell, the sister that was standing by Alice's side, that has yet to speak or really act besides watch what Alice is doing. So what the other twin, not the one that ushered you into the room, but the one that was already in the room when you got here, Nell, is most vulnerable in this moment.
Okay. And then I'm going to last question is going to be, what's the best way to protect the victims?
The best way to protect the victims is going to be to This seems like the easy answer. It's going to be to cut off the head of the snake. Which is going to, it seems like Alice is running the show and has the most power out of anyone here, and if you can stop her, then it might end whatever is happening.
Which did you say? What was the name of the sister that wasn't seemingly like getting involved right now?
That's Nell.
No. Okay. Then what I do with those three answers is I turn to face Nell, make eye contact, and I say, if you want to live, you best stay right there and not do anything. And I hold out and like pointed away, like maintaining eye contact, aim my SMG at Alice and open fire on her.
Okay. Then roll to kick some ass.
Okay.
+1 ongoing while acting on the answers that you just received from reading a bad situation.
So 3 + 2 is a 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Is it too early in the campaign to spend luck points?
How many do you have? 7?
Yeah, you only get 7 of those.
Jeez, everyone's in a real bad place right now. Yep, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend a luck. Turn that into a full success.
Okay, which lets you roll a full success. So on a 10 plus, you kick some ass. You get 1 extra effect.
I'm going to. Sorry, I don't have it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna inflict terrible harm.
Okay, on Alice.
Mm-hmm. That's 4 harm total.
4?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. For her specifically, who is already not super strong. Okay, so you just level this gunshot at Alice, and you can see Nell sort of off to the side, kind of realizing what you're doing, and her eyes go wide, and she kind of steps back into the shadows. You see this little sort of poof, this little cloud of energy, and she's gone. She has just disappeared. And Alice, sort of halfway through this, sort of turns towards you as you level these shots to her. Let's go of Periwinkle's head, and the nightmares sort of cease, and Lefla also, the nightmares around you sort of cease, and you kind of gain clarity into what is happening around you. And Alice falls to the ground, sort of laying on the now desecrated, I guess, circle, as blood sort of pools out under her, and she starts to laugh a little bit, and this creepy kind of laugh, and looks up at you, Smith, and just says, "It's so cute that you think it ends here. We'll be back." As she falls back, and the light kind of leaves her creepy eyes. She's dead. And Aura, who is still alive behind you, lets out this this shriek and this cry of just like pain and anguish. And there is this little burst of light from her, which then like collapses in on itself, and he also disappears. And you're alone.
You both all right?
Yeah.
I am a little on fire.
Oh,
Your left was a little on fire.
gonna try to go put him out.
Okay.
We need to get you back to the office so someone can take a look at you. Periwinkle, are you okay to drive?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can figure it out.
Why don't the two of you head back and I'll clean up here?
You sure? What if they
Yeah, I
come
can
back?
take. I don't think they'll be coming back right away.
Okay. All right, come on, Lippy.
Send a cleanup crew. I assume we have those. I'm just making.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
The Viscera cleanup crew.
Yeah, you definitely have one of those. All right. So Periwinkle, you take Lefla back to the van and back to headquarters to get all patched up. You'll be fine. Since you are seeking medical attention, is there anything the two of you want to do before you leave the scene?
Maybe just check if, I mean, since we're in the same house as him, see if Eamon woke up.
Yeah, it's right across the hall. So if you you poke your head in the door, and there is Eamon, the town elder, sort of sitting up in his bed, sort of looking around and sort of looking at you like, "Who are you?"
We saved your town. Talk to Agent Smith.
Oh,
And I was gonna
okay.
take Lefla downstairs.
But yes, he is sitting up and awake and seemingly alive and okay.
Oh, dog. Sorry.
Bark.
Archie is very aggravated now that we heard his mommy.
Indeed. Lefla, anything you were say before you were carted away? You're not on fire anymore, but
Yeah.
you're super scorched.
Yeah. I don't think there's much Leffel would say. I think there's probably been enough damage that maybe for the first time you are able to peek past the vines and see a little bit of the humanoid body underneath,
Aw.
Okay.
which is very literally twig-like in nature.
Oh, little Twiggy. Okay.
So Periwinkle sees that. So Periwinkle takes Lefla to the van, and you guys start to head back towards Aegis in your headquarters office and the medical bay there, where they will take very good care of Lefla, and you'll be okay because you're receiving professional medical treatment. Agent Smith, is there anything you would like to do or look at or gather before you leave?
I take photos of the sigil in the center of the room.
Okay.
I notate everything, take photos and indicate everything I see that's that is like interesting to me or that seems important. The symbols on the doorways, and I take that along with probably a tissue sample from the hag.
Okay.
And I put that in my, I don't know, I assume somebody's coming, and I probably call somebody from the unit to come collect this stuff. And I provide my report to them.
Okay. So a couple of things in the room that are interesting to you probably that you would mark are obviously the circle, obviously the runes around the door and everything like that, and the body of the monster that you all successfully defeated. Congratulations. Other than that, across the room, where all of the kind of furniture had been pushed to the side, much like in Aura's room, there is a dresser against one wall with a little music box sitting on it, with a large sigil sort of carved into the wall above this music box, which I can show you. Show to players. You guys see that?
Maybe I have too many other sheets up.
I can't see it.
Okay, well, I will show it to you. But there is a sigil that you see carved into the wall, sitting above this dresser with this music box on top of it. You're muted.
Take photos of that too and bag the music box.
Okay. So you take a bunch of photos, you bag and tag everything, and you all make it back to headquarters. Not unscathed. A little worse for wear. Probably a little stressed that things went the way they did, but victorious in the end, and having dealt with your first monster in a good long while, and with some evidence moving forward. And that is where we'll go ahead and end today's mystery. So add check 1 to the board for solving a mystery. Very good job, everybody. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
I muted, so my typing was obnoxious. Yes, that was so much fun.
Yay. So yeah, that is Monster of the Week. This has been All Myths Are Truths, our first kind of foray into the Monster of the Week system. So thank you everybody out there who joined us for this game and or are watching it on YouTube. I had a lot of fun running it, and I'm sure we'll continue to have a lot of fun playing it moving forward as we learn the rules and hunt more monsters and do all kinds of fun stuff. As far as our next few live streams go, oh wait, we have something to do at the end of the session. I want to do that before I do announcements. Hold please. Yes, let's do this before I say announcement things. So at the end of the session for Monster of the Week, there are 4 questions that, as the keeper, I will ask everybody, and based on how many yes answers I get, you guys get experience. Also, make sure you marked experience for the roles that you failed. There were many.
Lots of them.
There were so many. So make sure that you guys are marking experience for those. So those questions are, you have a question.
I don't mark experience when I use a luck to make it a success, correct?
No, yeah. If it turns into a success, you don't get experience for it.
Okay, just make
sure. It has to end up as a failure. So yeah, if the end result is a failure, then you will mark XP for it. So I ask you 4 questions, and based on your yes answers as a party, all of you will mark experience. The first question is, did we conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
Yes, you did. So let's see. The second one is, did you save someone? Someone? Did you save someone? Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
Probably.
Were they gonna die from the?
Yeah,
sleep?
they were
Yeah.
gonna die.
Yeah.
They were
definitely wasted
gonna
away eventually.
Yeah. So we'll say yes for that one. Did you learn something new and important about the world?
we as players learned a lot about the world.
That's true. I mean,
I guess do we know? Is this our first time tussling with these sorts of creatures, or?
I would say so. Also, it's our first session, so
Yeah.
I think this is your first time tussling with a coven of this type, and there is much more to be learned about them, which may be revealed later on. But I'll give you a guess for that one. And then, did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
yes and no.
Yeah, we had some
We heard
insights, but it
things.
wasn't like it was shared knowledge with the other characters.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 yeses. Everyone marks 2 experience.
Cool.
Is
I-
anyone already improving?
I almost did. I got
I'm-
4.
Some of you are close.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at the end of every session, we ask those 4 questions. For 1 or 2 yeses, everybody gets 1 experience. For 3 or 4 yeses, everybody gets 2. So you're hopefully getting
Mm-hmm.
at least 1 experience at the end, if not 2. But yeah,
I would have improved, but I haven't spent that if I hadn't spent that luck point. But we also might have all died. So
you might have all died.
Yeah. Oh man.
Theo would be like, "What happened to my team?"
yeah.
Oh,
Known for one day.
sorry, buddy.
But we'll find out next time. Maybe at the beginning of next session. Some of this might come to pass before you move on to your next mystery. Thank all of you guys for playing
Yeah.
in
thank
my
you.
weird game that I did. And thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching this live on Twitch, thanks for sticking with us. If you're watching on YouTube, you can catch us live every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv/Game Nights with 2 G's and a K in the nights. This Saturday we are not having a Saturday night Sarthia stream, but it looks like we are having some video game streams to replace that most likely. So we'll be announcing what that is on Twitch and on Discord soon. And in between now and our next official schedule, well, I say official, our next scheduled stream, which I guess is going to be next Thursday, is going to be an episode of Matropony, which is back, where me and Sean are going to play a video game and try not to destroy our marriage in the process. We'll see what happens. We'll play something super fun and entertaining. And in between now and then, I'm sure we'll have lots of video game streams. And then the next Saturday, we'll pick up again with Saturday nights and things like that. And then if you like how I run my games, on Sunday, I'm going to be running an Apocalypse World game on Encounter Roleplay, twitch.com/Encounter Roleplay. So that will be very fun as well.
Oh
Yeah, it's gonna be super cool. It's time travel and stuff, so come out for that. And we'll have lots of stuff here in between all of that other stuff for you to watch. Anybody have anything else they want to announce or say, or just get off their chest?
We
Thank you for running
survived.
this game.
Also, thanks.
You guys did great. But so we will be back with episode 2 of All Myths Are True, 2 weeks from today, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't have a different sign off, so I guess I'll come up with one. But until then, good game and good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.